Different's great, but being different for the sake of being different, I'm not a big fan of, right? If you just want to be different for the sake
technology
of it. But
increase, I would hide behind it.
And you start to hear some of their challenges, and yes.
Because it speaks to the core of who you are and what drives you forward. Because what makes you different is what drives you.
All right, everybody. What's going on, friends? Steve Spiro, the Master Connector, coming at you live and direct. I am pumped to be here with you all, and happy Wednesday, hump day. I know we just this past weekend was Mother's Day, so hopefully all of our ladies that celebrate, I'm sure you were honored. I'm hoping you were honored the way you need to be, you should be, and so a little belated happy Mother's Day. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. Now, obviously, you're going to see me, right? Normally, you'd see my co-host, Rob. Rob is dealing with some stuff he has to take care of. So I'm flying solo with a guest today, but we're going to have a great time today. And, we are the Master Connector Show. And so, you know, a little bit of my story, and Rob talks about it a lot as well. He and I are both former shy guys. In fact, I still think I'm an introvert, and recovering introvert. And, wild now being considered a master connector. It's crazy, but got a crazy story. Initially in the advertising world, got out of college, couldn't get a job, start a company, eventually transitioned to technology, and then it started to get challenged by a mentor. He said, meet 3 strangers every day. And the heck, from New York, like I am, if you talk to strangers, you're going to get shot, kidnapped, or killed. But I did it and stretched me and started building a big network, and eventually started asking to get to speak, and then found out about LinkedIn Live, and here I am. And this is episode 163. It's crazy. So we're the Master Connector Show. So if you're here on with us, and we appreciate you being on with us, make sure you're in the comments. We want to know where you're tuning in from, right? We want to know your country, your city, your state. We want to hear from you, right? And also get in the comments and connect with each other. If you're in there, we don't know if you're here unless you're in the comments. So, hey, it's Yolanda from Texas or whatever, right? And I know she's usually on with us, but we're also going to encourage you today to put questions. If you have any questions for us, we want to hear from you. So, but today we're going to talk about breaking the status quo, and it's going to be a great show. And so I want to just sort of kick off the topic by talking about this here. Listen, breaking the status quo involves recognizing the transformative power of prioritizing service over self-interest in leadership. By understanding the importance of serving others before focusing on personal gain, trust, and authenticity are built, laying the groundwork for innovation and progress. Embracing this approach in leadership is not only leads to remarkable results, but also encourages the exploration of innovative solutions to longstanding issues, right? And it highlights the significance of confidence in shattering norms and achieving success. Drawing from the various experiences of overwhelming challenges and barriers, it underscores the importance of resilience and determination in driving meaningful change. And I will say this, right? It's I've led a different path, and I don't believe in the status quo. I love challenging the status quo. And I know Jobs has a great quote about here's to the crazy ones and the misfits. And I can't quote it because it's too long, but it's awesome. And, if you're with us, and I see Yolanda here, yes, my mentor was a fellow New Yorker. Yes, he was, believe it or not, crazy. He lives in Florida now, but it is crazy. But Yolanda, great having you here with us. Just excited. But we're going to dig into this. It's a great time. We're going to have a blast here. So I want to go ahead, and you guys forgive me because I have dyslexia, learning disabled. So I'm going to do the best I can to introduce our amazing guest and hopefully do a decent job of pronouncing her last name. But Ilona Parakanova, I'm hoping I've said that right, is a TEDx speaker, author, and acclaimed coach. She's a motivational powerhouse in personal development. As a confident leadership maestro, the big word there. She ignites global empowerment with a resilience rooted in her Armenian genocide survival heritage. With a bold spirit, Ilona transformed a male-dominated industry, mentored over 2,000 TEDx speakers, and infiltrated the presidential residency for positive change. Her impact spans media recognition from Fox, NBC, and Forbes, reflecting her multifaceted role as a mediator, fundraiser, and nonprofit advocate. Fluent in 5 languages. I barely just try to master one, English, right? 5 languages, a marathon and triathlon medalist, a former beauty pageant winner, Ilona fearlessly declares herself as God's masterpiece, with God as the CEO of her life and dreams. Amen to that. She also emphasizes the power of breaking the status quo in leadership with confidence to achieve results. So if you're ready, put in the hashtags right now, community. Hashtag let's go, as we're going to bring on this amazing person, Ilona. I'm going to bring her to the stage here. Ilona, great to see you.
It's such an honor to be with you today, Steve. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. We're honored to have you on here. So it looks like we have John with us in the house, and Yolanda, our amazing community member here, is giving you a special welcome. And yes, who loves you, baby? Yolanda likes to point out, I got to get a lollipop, Yolanda. So every time you say that, I put my lollipop, anyway, here we go. Great stuff. Excited to have you on. I know you're in your studio as you have a busy day. You were telling me in the green room, but we want to talk about confidence. So community, type in hashtag confidence. And again, I'm going to try to do all the roles here, right? I usually have my co-host Rob here with me. So we're going to actually not talking about confidence. I think we're talking about impact first. So type in hashtag impact if you're ready to go. And here's the question for Ilona, right? As I try to get all my screens right here. Okay, here we go. How do you believe prioritizing service over self-interest impacts leadership effectiveness and authenticity, Ilona?
Okay, being the ordained minister for over 2 decades, we did it differently. I would prioritize service over self. And then I have realized after 2 decades being in a service as a minister that this is the wrong approach to become and be more effective in life. And I wanted to stand in here and let everyone know, as Bible says, I don't want to start with it, but it says the scripture that says, love others as you love yourself. Unless you realize how important you are, how amazing you are, how valuable you are, there is no way on the planet you can respect somebody else to do the same thing too. So that's why self-confidence, self-love, self-abundance starts and has to start within yourself. Because loving yourself, people want to be just around yourself.
I love that. That's great. And you're one of the few people that I've heard speak about this, which is great, because I believe that a lot. For years and years, I did not love myself. I was in a very dark place, extremely broken. I was a broken human being. And how could you love others if you don't love yourself? Exactly. And you also, if you don't really believe that the great creator, our maker, right, loves you, then you're not going to love yourself either. So it's really, and it took for me, Ilona, it took a lot of self-work and self-development to get to that place, but I'm really grateful I am. And now, one of the pillars of our show is pillars of, when I speak, it's the pillar of the book I wrote. It's being others focused and being able to help others with no agenda, nothing whatsoever. So I'm so blessed that you spoke to that. But let's just dig in a little bit. So on the impact side, so talk about impact, right? Because that's a big part of this. How do you feel like this can make an impact? if you don't
All right,
mind.
very, very extremely easy. We know how many of us want to hang out with the people who are miserable, the people who are always drained with the energy. How many of us want to follow the leader who is constantly nagging and mourning and always comes back from the household, from the family who are eating him alive? Who wants to be around those people? No one. That's why leadership impact starts within yourself. And I say this to everyone: impact is a new wealth. If you want to be wealthy, you need to impact. How you're going to impact? You need to start within yourself, realizing your boundaries. Yes, also understanding what you're good at and what you're not good at, so you know how to leverage your smarts, your ideas, your skills. And a third one, I always tell this: there's a 3 C's that kills the confidence, that also affects the impact. It's when we compare, when we compete, and when we control. The minute we're going to get into the mindset of that, we lose. We lose completely. And that's why impact is impossible. Or if you do have an impact, the results will be absolutely negative. Nobody wants to be there. And the leaders pretty much lose. Nobody wants to be around those people who are drained.
I love that. I love that. And again, we're talking about breaking the status quo with Ilona. If you have any kind of questions, please feel free to put it in the comments. We want to hear from you. This is your show. It's not our show. It's your show, right? This is why we're here. I love what you said, Ilona, about the comparison, right? The 3 C's, but the one that stood out the most to me is comparison, because I played the comparison game for years, and I was so broken and wounded that I lost every time, right? So you want to definitely not get involved in that game, and I did for too long, but I'm glad I didn't. But to me, also, impact is so important, because what I've learned is true success is not how much money I can make, or how many how many things I could acquire, how many houses, or whatever. To me, it's how many people are better because we were here, because they knew me somehow, right? So to me, that's true impact, right? Because you can't take those material things with you, but you can make an impact, and that could stay and be, live beyond.
It's a new wealth. It's a new wealth. It's another
right.
element. I know there's a book that talks about 4 elements of wealth. I add the 5, which is wealth and impact. And that's where I leverage my smarts and the talents to do something special for the world.
Love that. Love that. All right. We're going to keep it rolling here. So community, type in #solutions, right? Because we want to get to some solutions here. So Ilona, I would love to hear some examples of innovative solutions that have emerged from breaking the status quo in leadership, if you would mind.
Okay, look right now what social media is doing. It's massive. Anybody can become celebrity just like this in an instant. Just put something crazy out there and you're already known. You're already celebrity. So from my experience, the more it's embracing the no, because no is complete sentence, right? When you say to somebody, but at the same time, in my head, if somebody says no, you cannot achieve it. No, you cannot become one. No, there's no way you can do it. I usually say, buckle up and watch me. And every time you're under stress, that new juice is flowing instantly, even though you don't believe something happens. I usually say this: pressure is a privilege, because unless you're under pressure, there's no way you can become a masterful, the wine from the grape. You will not be able to become a diamond. You cannot become the olive oil from the olives. So the pressure has a process for everyone. And many leaders are afraid to go under the pressure unless they understand the end result and the risk they're going to take going under pressure. They will never achieve the result that they can possibly want or have or desire.
That's amazing. I've heard that I know you mentioned one of the comparisons was the diamonds, right? You take this lump of coal, ugly black lump of coal, and over time, with lots of pressure, it turns into this beautiful diamond, right? And that's through pressure. So I love that. And you said, you tell me no, and paraphrasing, watch me anyway. It's good. I love that. I love the challenge. I love the fact that, when somebody says, you can't do something, watch me. And, for me, my learning disability, being dyslexic, was a way in which I learned how to be creative and overcome challenges in creative ways. And so that kind of programmed me early on to be a little bit different to try to get around those challenges. So I love that you have a whole process in your mind around it. That's great. Love that. All right, let's keep it rolling. So, and I know I asked, I threw out confidence before, community, and thank you for being so amazing, because everyone typed in confidence, but we're now going to get into confidence. Okay, that was just a little preview. Okay, so here's, in your opinion, Ilona, what role does confidence play in challenging norms and achieving success?
First of all, people usually mistaking confidence with a cockiness or corkiness or things like that. It's completely different things. There's a difference between being a diva and being a queen. Divas have to prove their worth. The queens know their worth. So, and knowing who you are is essential. Look at the babies when they grow up. Look, when they start crawling, they crawl. They have no boundaries. They know who they are. They embrace their imperfection, crawling, then walking, then again falling. So that's the learning curve. And it's self-confidence does start with self. It doesn't start with she confidence, his confidence, they confidence. It is self. It has to be intentional work. First of all, I tell people, you want to get confidence, you need to have a major detox and clean up from your life. Remove people, places, and things. When you remove that, then you realize, then start building what you're good at. My circle is so small because I know I am intentionally know who I want to give my energy to, time to, and also attention to. So that's why detox your life. It's very important. Do the spring cleaning every single year from your social media, from your friends and such, from your habits, from your events. So you will be able to really understand your confidence level. You don't have to attend every single event just for sake of attending. You don't have to read every single book for sake of reading. No, it has to be intentional work from your part, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Love that. And it's interesting when you talked about detox, which I love that everyone talks about detoxing, where they're talking about this, potion or shake that kind of detox the body, but detox the mind. I love that. And one of the things I've learned, and it's part of scripture, right? It talks about the tongue as the rudder, right? And it talks about the inputs, right? And you need to guard your gates, your ear gates, your mouth gate, right? Because what you speak, what you hear, what you see, right? And those are the things that help program who you are and ultimately your destiny, your future. And so you need to make sure that you're really watching what you say and who are around you, because it becomes who you are, right? If everyone around you keeps talking negative and defeat, eventually, right? Lay with fleas, you're gonna, lay with dogs, you can get fleas, right? You want to make sure you're very conscious, and I love that you keep your circle very, very tight. So Yolanda's saying, hey, nothing. It has to do with being intentional, exactly. And I want to acknowledge my man Parker Reynolds, good friend who I've actually known for about 1.5 years now, and we met through LinkedIn and. Had the opportunity to travel to Ohio to meet him and his lovely wife, but just incredible to have you on here, Parker. Just want to acknowledge you as well. All right, we're going to keep the ball rolling here. So we want to talk a little bit about rapport. So community, type in hashtag rapport. Nope, that's not it. Let's keep to the right one. Here we go. Rapport. Here we go. All right. And, listen, a big part of what I do on a regular basis is I do these networking calls. And Ilona and I, you had a networking call, right? And we kind of talked, and a big part of it's building rapport. But I want to hear this from you, right? On the topic of rapport, Ilona, how do you establish trust and a rapport by prioritizing servicing others before personal gain? Give me a perspective on that, if you could.
Yes. First of all, you don't have to push yourself to please others. Yes. Again. So when somebody wants your attention, it's okay to say no, I don't want to, or I cannot make it happen. Sometimes we are in a rush to make things happen just to please somebody else, or not to appear that person that you're not approachable. And this is always starts with a confidence, knowing what you are, knowing, like, again, detoxing what you need to. You don't have to jump and eat everything from the buffet, right? You have to really be intentional. What kind of mental food you need, what kind of circle you need. You ask the person what is his priorities, what is his standards. If his standards does not align with you, why do you bother even get on a call with the person? But if they're aligned and you can mutually partner in terms of my connection, his connection, his smarts, my smarts, why not? It has to be mutually beneficial, just like marriage, just like anything else that we do, because otherwise it will be dragging. It will be like one-side transaction versus partnership. And then you become very drained and you will be so regretful, and it will not be energetically positive or good for anyone.
I love that. And listen, I have a similar take, right? I think one of the things that allows you to build rapport, and you touched on it before, is being authentic, being transparent, maybe sharing some of those things that maybe some vulnerabilities a little bit, nothing crazy, right? But I like to always talk about I was picked on and bullied and learning disabled, and in a dark place, and I don't mind because I'm not there anymore. Obviously, you don't want to share things that maybe you're going through right now. That could be tough and hard, but I like that because it gives people. I found it breaks barriers, right? I know we're talking breaking the status quo, but you were talking about break barriers. It breaks down barriers, and people start to say, "Wow, okay, this person's being honest with me. It's just refreshing. He or she is not putting this wall up and trying to be this big, fancy person," right? You talked about social media, Ilona, before, where people are, kind of coming across as this, incredible person. And maybe they are, but, let people feel that about you through being human, being real, not necessarily trying to be some special person. And the other piece is, I believe, if you're others focused and just go in there with some kind of add value and, what can I do to help you? No agenda. What can I do to help you? I believe that also kind of breaks barriers and builds trust as well. Right?
Yes, I love doing something special in a city that nobody knows me, for example, like just because. So I don't want no recognition. I don't want nothing. So because I want to do it so I can do it. So it will make them feel good, just because.
Love that. Love that. That's, and it's surprising, right? Because we're in this world where there's a lot of quid pro quo. Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean? Like you do for me and I do for you. No, just do, do it. And,
but it has to feel great, right? From your side.
Yeah.
It has to be authentic. It has to be like, I want to do it. I get to do it. I don't have to be pressured to do it. That's exactly what we need to be working on.
You got it. 100%. All right. Well, one of the things I enjoy, and, when I decided that I was going to, drive this speaking career, I didn't want to be a motivational speaker because I wanted to really be more of an inspirational speaker, because I believe that motivation is within. You either have it, you can develop yourself, but inspiration, you can inspire people. So community, type in #inspiration, and we want to talk a little bit about that. So what inspired you to embrace the concept of breaking the status quo in your leadership approach, Ilona?
Oh, I love that question. Well, power of no in my life. When I was born, my dad didn't want me because his first kid was a daughter, not a son. My grandparents had nothing to do with me because my skin tone did not reflect Armenian culture. I looked like my mom, who is Ukrainian. And the priest didn't want to give me a second name during the baptism because I didn't look anything like Armenian. My doctor said that I cannot do anything heavy with my legs because I'm going to destroy them. My boss told me I cannot pursue my education because I barely speak English. So there's a no. And my family called me ugly. Armenian family called me ugly because I didn't look like them. So I use this power of no. There's something magical about that. the no, people need to understand that when people tell you no, they're measuring you by their limited beliefs and nothing else. And also it tells them and tells me that I am not in their level anymore. I could be surpassing this. So this is what happens. My dad now says, I will never trade you for 10 sons. My grandma, out of 5 kids, I was the only Ukrainian looking girl who received inheritance. And I gave it all back because I said the love is all I needed. I went to the beauty pageant just to prove my Armenian family that I am not ugly. So I did my triathlon and marathon just to let my doctor know, hey, I can still do it. I entered my university in a bachelor and got it in 1 year with a 4.0 GPA, became a student speaker, and started my master's degree. I go to my boss, I hang my dissertation and also resignation on the same day. You do not deserve me anymore. So power of no, people need to understand that it's not disadvantage. It's the biggest advantage and biggest fuel in a life. And I posted a few weeks ago about this. I'm like, the biggest motivators in my life actually are the people who said no to me. Yet they challenged me. I would not be where I am today to inspire also others to do the same thing and overcome and overlook and give a next meaning to the no and rejection, because these are your 2 best friends and the greatest power.
I love that. And I love the power of no. In fact, community, if you agree with us, if you agree with Ilona, right? Type in power of the hashtag power of no. If you really, that message impacted you as much as it has for me personally, right? And it looks like Yolanda is giving you a major claps on that. That's great. Well done. Incredible. Well, we are coming towards the tail end of this episode, which it's crazy how quickly these sessions go. So I'd love for you to just tell the community, number one, if you have any final thoughts, and number 2, the best way for them to reach you. If you have any things you want to offer them, anything in particular. Now, I'll give you the opportunity to share that real quick, if you could, please.
I just want you to know that status quo in Latin pretty much means the mess we are in. So, and also the status quo is a comfy couch for the leadership and anyone in the life. So, and sometimes we do suffocate in our comfort zone and we feel great with it. But I want to take this moment and for you to really challenge yourself to prove to yourself, no one else, that you are capable within yourself. And the best way to reach out to me, of course, in LinkedIn, my first name and last name. I'm in everywhere in social media. If you do have a story and you do happen to be in Minneapolis, we do have a studio that I would love to feature your story that has an impact, that will help to change someone's life and also mindset and also direction of their thinking as well. So if there's anything that I can do to empower you, inspire you in impact, right? This is my 5th element of wealth. Please do let me know. But get out of your comfy couch of the status quo and just break it. Just do it.
Love that. And best way for them to get in touch with you is through LinkedIn, or is there another
LinkedIn
way
would be a great way to do. I also like very big on social media in Facebook as well. So that will be great.
Okay, great. Excellent. Fantastic. Well, Ilona, we really appreciate you. You really brought the juice with you this episode. We really appreciate you. I'm going to have you jump into the green room. I'd love to chat with you after the show is over, but just again, so appreciative of you for being here with us. So just thank you, and we'll see you soon. And community, make sure you connect with Ilona for sure.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Well, that was amazing. So real quick, we're talking about overcoming and just becoming, right? One of my great mentors, Hugh, would say this, overcoming to become, right? Well, again, a little self-promotion here, but order your copy of my book, The Tao of a Master Connector, The Way an Introvert Became a Master Connector. It's available through Amazon, also in Audible if you prefer the Audible. I'm typically an Audible kind of guy, but it's a great book, and it will give you some great mindset to think about and to help inspire you to be the better version of yourself. But this has been tremendous. And Yolanda, thanking Ilona as well. I agree big time. the community. Next week, we're going to have my man Rob G back with me as we are going to be going to episode 164. Crazy. Wednesday, May 22nd. So same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday. And this week's show is unearthing your vulnerable story. So we're trying to talk about a vulnerability. We're going to talk about it with Danielle Perlin Good. It's going to be an amazing show. She's an amazing young lady. So I definitely don't miss that. And if you're interested in sponsoring a show, the Master Connector Show, go to masterconnector.show. You could see some of the up and coming shows. You could see what it would take to become a sponsor of an episode. We're not looking for somebody to sponsor a whole show, but if you want to sponsor an episode, that'd be great, because we're really trying to do big things and reach as many people as possible. And we love the support on doing that. So, in typical fashion lately, I've been kind of ending the show with kind of a story, and I want to touch on this really real quick. And I don't know if anyone has seen the movie, the King Richard. It's the Williams sisters story and her dad, and interesting man. But let me just tell you, Serena Williams, transcending the norms of tennis with her unmatched skills, fierce determination, and unapologetic self-confidence, has become a global icon. Despite facing adversity and discrimination, she continuously challenges the status quo in a predominantly white sport, paving the way for future generations of athletes. Serena's extraordinary achievements on and off the court serve as a source of inspiration for millions, proving that breaking barriers is not only possible, but essential for progress. She is a true light worker. So remember, folks, so important. Let's be the light, and let's make sure to inspire somebody with your actions, with your words. And we look forward to seeing you next week, and can't wait to see you again. And make sure to share this out with your community if you love this. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Be the light.
And you start to hear some of their challenges, and yes,
because it speaks to the core of who you are and what drives you forward. Because what makes you different is what drives you.